You're being sold a picture of success, and it's keeping you broke. You know the one. It's the story of the ruthless type A extrovert who's up at 4 a.m. grinding for 16 hours and sacrificing everything at the altar of ambition. They're a genius networker. They got some lucky break, and now they're preaching their gospel from a yacht, selling a course that promises you can have it all too. But here's the truth. That picture is a lie. It's a carefully crafted myth designed to make you feel inadequate, like you're not enough, and to sell you a dream that was never really meant for you. The whole hustle culture fantasy is built on a flaw called survivorship bias. You see the handful of people who made it, and you're told their non-stop work is the secret sauce. What you don't see are the millions who followed the same advice and got nothing but burnout, stress, and a boatload of regret. Today, we're tearing that picture down. We are exposing the 5 most toxic myths about success that the gurus love to sell. And I'm going to show you how the very things you've been told are weaknesses, being an introvert, having a difficult past, are actually your greatest, most powerful assets. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about realizing that who you are is precisely what you need to win. Larder Myth 1. You must be a ruthless extrovert. First up is the myth we see everywhere. To win, you have to be the loudest person in the room. A natural-born networker, a charismatic schmoozer, someone who isn't afraid to step on others to get ahead. We're told the business world is a playground for extroverts, and if you're quiet, thoughtful, or prefer a deep one-on-one conversation to a crowded party, you're at a disadvantage. You've been told to fake it till you make it, to wear an extrovert mask because your natural way of being is a liability. That is just dead wrong. In fact, it's the quiet ones, the introverts, who often possess the most powerful leadership traits. Where external rewards often drive extroverts, introverts are often driven by a sense of mission. They aren't in it for the spotlight. They're in it because they believe in what they're doing. This gives them an authentic gravity that makes people want to follow them. Think of leaders like Mahatma Gandhi or Eleanor Roosevelt. They didn't command respect with volume, but with quiet conviction. And the research backs this up. Introverted leaders excel in ways extroverts often don't. For one, they are incredible listeners. They don't just wait for their turn to talk. They actually absorb what others are saying, processing it all on a deeper level. This allows them to catch subtleties everyone else misses and make smarter, more strategic decisions. In a world filled with noise, the ability to truly listen is a superpower. Additionally, introverts are often more empathetic, which enables them to build psychologically safe teams where people feel valued and heard. When it comes to creativity, solitude is rocket fuel. Introverts are wired to take the time and space needed for deep thought, which leads to breakthroughs that an extrovert, who thrives on constant stimulation, might never find. So the idea that you have to be a loud, backslapping extrovert isn't just a myth, it's terrible advice. Your quiet nature, your thoughtfulness, your ability to listen, these are not weaknesses. They're your strategic advantages. Stop trying to be someone you're not. The magic happens when you finally embrace who you are. Myth 2. Your past defines your future. The second myth is as common as it is destructive. The idea that where you come from decides where you can go. This myth whispers that if you didn't have a perfect childhood, attend the right schools, or be born into the right family, you're already behind. It paints a complicated past as a life sentence of mediocrity. We see stories of people who seem to have had it all from the start, and we're led to believe that success is a matter of pedigree. But look at the real world, and you'll find it's filled with wildly successful people who came from the most brutal circumstances. Oprah Winfrey grew up in such extreme poverty that she wore potato sacks for clothes and was a victim of abuse. Yet she credits that trauma for the profound empathy that made her one of the most powerful media figures in history. His father abandoned rapper Eminem, who was bullied and raised in poverty. But he funneled that rage and pain into his music to become one of the best-selling artists of all time. These aren't just feel-good exceptions. They are proof of a powerful truth. The latest CDC data is staggering. About 3 in 4 U.S. high school students report experiencing at least one major adverse childhood event. Your past isn't a verdict on your future. It can be the very furnace that forges your greatest strengths. A difficult past doesn't have to be a crutch. It can be your training ground. It teaches you resilience, the ability to get knocked down and get right back up, a skill many who've had it easy never truly learn. It teaches you resourcefulness, forcing you to find clever solutions when you have nothing. It builds a level of grit and hunger that can't be taught. People who have overcome real adversity don't just hope for a better future. They fight for it. They know what the bottom feels like, so they appreciate the climb in a way others simply can't. So if you've had a tough start, don't let anyone tell you you're at a disadvantage. You've been through battles others can't even imagine. That hasn't weakened you. It has made you a warrior. Your scars aren't signs of damage. They're a map of your strength. Myth 3. You have to grind 24/7. This is the most glorified and toxic myth of our time. The cult of the grind. Wake up at 4 a.m., work 80-hour weeks, sleep when you're dead. This is the mantra of hustle culture, which preaches that the only path to success is relentless, soul-crushing work. It treats burnout as a badge of honor and rest as a sign of weakness. If you take a vacation, you're not committed. If you protect your weekends, you don't want it badly enough. This idea is a dangerous scam. Both scientific research and real-world results demonstrate that overwork doesn't lead to better results. Instead, it leads to burnout, decreased productivity, and serious health problems. Research shows that your productivity actually plummets after working more than 55 hours a week. Your brain gets foggy, your decisions get worse, and your creativity flatlines. The chronic stress and sleep deprivation that hustle culture demands are directly linked to anxiety, depression, and even heart disease. This obsession with being productive at all times has a name: toxic productivity. It's a mindset that convinces you to tie your self-worth directly to your output. The truth is, high achievers don't just work harder. They work smarter, and, more importantly, they rest smarter. It turns out that taking breaks is just as important as practice when you're learning something new. Rest isn't the enemy of performance. It is a vital part of it. It's during downtime that our brains connect ideas and find creative solutions. The most successful people build systems to protect their energy. They understand that you only have a few hours of truly focused, deep work in you each day, and they design their lives around that precious window. They focus on consistent, sustainable effort over time, not short, destructive sprints. So forget the myth of the 24/7 grind. Success isn't a war of attrition. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The goal isn't to burn out. It's to build a system that allows you to thrive in the long run. If any of this is starting to shatter what you thought was true, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're all about dismantling these toxic myths and building success on our own terms. And drop a comment below with the myth that has messed with you the most. Let's talk about it. Myth 4. Success is a destination. Here's another one that traps people for years. The myth that success is a final destination, a finish line you cross where a pot of happiness awaits you. You probably hear it in your own head. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. Or, I'll be happy when I make $1 million. This mindset turns life into a checklist of external achievements, and it traps you in a cycle of constantly moving the goalposts. You hit one goal, feel a brief flicker of satisfaction, and then immediately fixate on the next milestone, because the happiness you were promised never quite shows up. This is a recipe for perpetual disappointment. Success isn't a place you arrive at. It's a journey you're already on. And happiness isn't a prize you get at the end. Society has quietly redefined success to mean fame, wealth, and status. But true success is just the accomplishment of a goal you set for yourself, and genuine happiness is about loving the process, regardless of the outcome. Chasing success with the expectation that it will finally make you happy is like chasing the horizon. You'll never get there. The real key is to flip the equation. As the late Herman Cain said, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success." When you build a life and a career that you genuinely enjoy, a process that energizes you, success often becomes a natural byproduct. You stop chasing external metrics like money or followers, which you can't ultimately control, and start focusing on the journey itself. You find fulfillment in the work, right here, right now. Don't postpone your happiness for a future that may never unfold as you imagine. Define success for yourself. Find joy in the process, and you'll realize you're already living a successful life. Myth 5. You must play it safe and follow the rules. The final myth is one that's drilled into us from day one. Play by the rules, get the degree, climb the ladder, and whatever you do, don't make mistakes. We're taught that the path to success is a neat linear track. Valedictorians are a perfect product of this system. They excel by mastering established rules, and they tend to become reliable and well-adjusted. But they rarely end up changing the world. For that, you often need to take the unfiltered path. This myth tells you that mistakes are a sign of failure. The truth is, mistakes are not the opposite of success. They are a fundamental part of it. The people who achieve incredible things don't avoid failure. They learn from it, adapt, and become smarter. In the famous Marshmallow Challenge, kindergartners consistently build better structures than business school students. Why? Because they don't waste time planning for the perfect tower. They start building, trying things, making mistakes, and learning through trial and error. They embrace the messy process. The unfiltered path is taken by people like Steve Jobs or Abraham Lincoln, who didn't just jump through the prescribed hoops but created their own way forward. This path requires you to question your own beliefs and to have the humility to admit when you're wrong. It also means you have to be willing to quit. The idea that winners never quit is another lie. Strategic quitting, ditching a goal or a path that isn't working, is one of the most powerful moves you can make. It frees up your time and energy for the opportunities that actually have a future. Following the rules might lead to a comfortable life, but it will rarely lead to an extraordinary one. Real growth happens when you push beyond your comfort zone. It occurs when you dare to take a risk, try something that might not work, and see failure not as a final verdict, but as invaluable data. Don't let the fear of making a mistake keep you on a path someone else designed for you. Your missteps aren't liabilities. They are your education. So let's discard that outdated, toxic notion of success for good. You don't have to be a ruthless extrovert. Your past does not define you. You don't need to grind yourself into dust. You don't have to wait for some finish line to feel happy. And you definitely don't need to be perfect. These are myths sold to you by an industry that profits from your insecurity. The truth is, real success is a personal matter. It's not a one-size-fits-all formula. Your introversion is a source of strategic depth. Your difficult past is a source of unmatched resilience. Your need for rest is a sign of wisdom. Your ability to find joy in the journey is the prize. And your willingness to make mistakes is the very thing that will propel you forward. Stop trying to fit into a mold that was never made for you. Define what success means for you. Build your life around your own values and your own strengths. That is the real secret. That is how you stop being broke, in spirit and in your bank account, and start building a life that is genuinely, authentically rich.